Hello, welcome to this instructional video on how to create playlists in the new EAS regional hub. So the first thing you need to do is to navigate to playlists. So you go to the apps icon on your screen, click on playlists, and it will take you to your existing playlists. It'll be empty when you start. I've got a folder here of playlists that I've already created, but what I'm going to do is add a new folder. So I'm going to add to new, add folder. And then I'm going to call this one new playlists. So I'm going to create this new folder, and then I'm going to click on the folder so that I'm going to create a playlist within that folder so I know where my playlist is. So if I go back to the add new icon here, I can go to add a new playlist. I'm going to give it a name. I'm going to create a playlist on the curriculum for Wales. Create. What that will then allow you to do is to get in and start to curate your playlist. In short, all a playlist is a sequence of aggregated content, so content that you pull from different places, put together for a particular purpose. So it might be it's an e-learning resource, so something that someone would read through by themselves, or it could be something to support someone in delivering professional learning for other colleagues. It could just be that you're trying to pull together a series of different resources on a particular topic that you want to make available to people. Either way, a playlist is a good tool for doing just that. So let's have a look at some of the tools. If we go up to the right hand side here, add a page type. You can see the different types of pages. Close down the menus for a second. So there's options to add at the top here. You can do a Google search and link to a website that you can pull across as part of your content, a YouTube video, and that will put an embedded player into the playlist for you. Or you can search for a more general URL link here that you can put into your playlist. There's quiz options with a variety of different question types that you can put into your playlist, especially if you're creating e-learning content. You can put in whole slideshows and presentations here by adding this option. You can add text and media, which effectively look a little bit like PowerPoint slides, but as you can see, they're designed in different ways. So we have text and pictures here, all the way down to text and a media template here, where you can add different types of digital content. And then the advanced options we'll come to in a later video. So if we start by adding just a really basic slide here, I'm going to have like this one, which is a curved image on the left. Right on the right hand side there'll be a text template. If I add one of those, go to the little pencil icon here, which is the edit button. I'm going to just do a quick introductory slide, curriculum for Wales, add content. So in this box I simply put a quick piece of information about what the playlist is going to be about. I keep it brief just for the purposes of the video, but obviously you would add more detail to this. So that's going to be my title. That's going to be in the content block in the text. Then going to add my image that will appear on the left hand side. So I'll click on my picture icon. I'll choose a file from the device that I've got, and I'll select. I'll select the playlists. Sorry, not the playlists. I think I'll select the AOLE image. So what happens then is it pulls the image across for you, and you can center the image where you would like it to be centered, and then I can save and close that. If I then want to go back and preview how that's going to look to the end user, I can go to the preview button, and there you are. Okay, so I've got my image centered around the four purposes there, and I've got a bit of introductory text. So if I'm not happy with that, I can go back, edit it, and change it how I want. So let's go back now to the playlist and add a different content block. This time I'm going to add a clip from YouTube. So I click on the YouTube icon. You can do a straight search if you wish. However, I already have the link that I need that I've copied and pasted earlier. So I'm going to simply add the link, press return there. Then That's the content block. If you'd searched it, you could have gone to YouTube, found the video you wanted and pulled it down, but for the sake of time I thought I'd pull it in. And then you simply drag it across and you want it there. If you wanted it before, you simply move that step up or this step down. So for example like that, you know, just to get it in the right order if you want to reorder those content blocks later on. That will then play in a browser. Now what the system does is it picks up the information that is the metadata, as they call it, which is found in YouTube. What you can then do is go in and edit these and change them. So if you didn't want it to say these things, you could go in and curate that yourself and put your own, maybe a question in there or whatever it is you're looking to stimulate in terms of the thinking of the person who's watching. So we'll save and close that for now. So that's that type of content block. The other type of content block I'm going to show in this is a quiz question. So let's go and select a multiple choice text block, add that into the mix. There we are. Okay, the first thing you do is edit the block and then you edit the question. So I'm going to go in here, untitled quiz, let's call it curriculum quiz. I'm not going to do this in any detail, but in here you would explain, you'd give the instructions about what the quiz is about. But I'm simply going to say answer these questions. Background image, I think I will choose, which will be National Mission document. There we are, stick that in the background. That will then appear in behind the quiz just to give it a sense of, you know, a sort of a feel for what they're looking at. Save and close that, so that's the background finished. What I've now got to do is to add a question. So I'm simply going to go to here, I'm going to edit my question. Which of the following is not an AOLE, LLC, humanities, and then we can add additional blocks if we want. Simply click on here to add a range of answers, so you can have as many as you want, actually options if you like, and you can pick more than one right answer. You know, you can edit this how you see fit. Right, woodwork. So we know that the correct answer is actually woodwork here because that isn't an AOLE. And what we can then do is add feedback, and you can give feedback for a correct or an incorrect answer. This is poor feedback, incidentally, but it's just for the purposes of showing you how it works, not for the quality of the feedback. But yeah, so obviously you would give a response that would help them to understand where they did and didn't get those questions right. Save and close that. When you're done, you can add some supporting content. So if there was some supporting information that would have helped them to get the answer right, you could add that if that was useful in any way. So yeah, you can do that. You can add more questions. So there's this, if you add another activity here using this this plus block, you can pick a different type of question. So you can see there the variety of options that are available and have a play around with those. Click save and close, and then you've got 3 content blocks. So let's preview that. So there's my first slide now. Here's my second slide now, which is the video from YouTube, which will come up and would play. I'm not going to play it, but it will play through the browser there. And then here comes my curriculum quiz with my questions. So let's start this one. Let's deliberately get the answer wrong. Humanities, check answers. The attempts here have been limited to 1. You can alter that actually back in the quiz engine if you want. You can have, you know, as many attempts if you want it, if you liked. And then obviously the incorrect feedback is displayed on the right hand side. But you can also show the correct answer as well if you wanted to. Okay, so that's how that particular section works. When I explain the assignments in a later video, I can explain how you can then capture that data and find out how people have got on if you want to collect that information for e-learning purposes, for example. So let's close that down and go back to my playlist. So as you can see, then you can add other content blocks as well. So let's say we wanted to put the Curriculum for Wales blog in here as a link. I'm going to, oh sorry, that's not the URL, is it? Let's go to Google. Let's Google Curriculum for Wales blog. Search. There it is, Curriculum for Wales, Curriculum for Life. Again, I can come across, can pull this in underneath here, and there it is. There's my Curriculum for Wales blog. Just to show you then how that, again, you can give that a different description if you want. You can change the title, or you can ask some questions of the participant to frame their experience of looking at the blog. Save and close. So if you go to preview now, there's my first slide. There's my embedded video content in the browser. There's my quiz question, and here is my link to the Curriculum for Wales blog, which if I click, what it does is it actually opens in a separate window. Okay, but then obviously you can navigate back to that. Also, bear in mind that all of this content is viewable on mobile devices, and the playlist will optimize the view for a mobile device. So you have the same user experience whether you're using a desktop machine or a mobile, which again for e-learning is really powerful. Okay, so that's a brief video about how you create content in a playlist. In another video, I'll tell you about how you can then publish that to the public resources area in the Regional Hub platform.